Let's talk about the fantasy football team tips for game week one. And well, the Premier League is back, and so is the fantasy football league, which would be obviously bigger and better. So we at Sports Marvel every year we give you tips about the fantasy football, your picks, who should be your captain, and what kind of players should make an instant impact in your team. Because there are always promoted sides, there are sites wherein a lot of transfer activities go on, and probably a lot of us are not really very sure about what kind of picks we need to have in our team. So I'll just make a short video on this, just give you a little bit of idea about the players you can target from the promoted teams, and obviously the fixture difficulty. We can go through that as well, and obviously whatever team I have picked. So let's talk about the clubs, the promoted clubs as I was talking about, and what kind of players you can target from those clubs. See, there are a lot of unknown faces, and probably some of the faces which we would have known in the past as well, which would have played for different clubs. Players which are famous are Josh Brownhill, who had a spectacular last season with Burnley, and he is going to be there at the mainstay. We talk about Jay Rodriguez, the ex Southampton player, and he has been a phenomenal talent. Unfortunately, there are a lot of injuries which has crippled his career, but he would be one to watch out for Burnley. I talk about Elfie Doughty. I think this is a player. I'm telling you at 4.5. I am pretty sure. I think in next couple of weeks you would see his value going up to 5.5 even, because the structure which Luton has, they play 4-3-3, 3-4-3 rather, and you would have the wing backs pushing up forward. And Elfidot is somebody who can give you a lot of assists as well. I think he had 6 assists in the last season and couple of goals to add to that also. And he is always a constant threat. So Alfie Doughty along with Carlton Morris, who would be leading the line for Luton, I think these would be my most important players. Carlton had around more than 20 goals last season, and he was a very influential figure. So have a definitely just keep in mind that Carlton Morris is going to be one heck of a player for Luton Town, and I expect them to stay up also. So you can expect a lot of action from Luton Town. These two players. Talking about Sheffield United, I think McBurney has been phenomenal for so many years, but age is starting to catch up with him. And forward line with Benny Traore, that has been shipped in from Swedish club, wherein he has had a phenomenal season. He is scoring goals for fun, and I won't be surprised if he just hits a strap and probably just get the ball rolling. The players you need to also take care of, Oliver Norwood and again Josh Brownhill. I'm again going to come back to him because these two players are actually designated penalty takers, corner takers, free kick takers, and there would be a lot of action with these two players involved. And on the goal side, you can expect lot of points from the assist also, and also from the goals, because I think the ratio of penalties which promoted club gets is actually way higher than what the current clubs are getting. So that's a kind of a stat which has been prevalent for last couple of years as well. So they would try to just eke out one goal here and there against, I would say, the heavyweights of Premier League. And I do expect these players to have a prominent role for the season. So these are the 6 players which you need to take care of when you're talking about the promoted clubs. Now, talking about the fixture difficulty, and this is where I think you would probably understand that which clubs are firmly placed and which clubs would initially seem to be struggling more because of the fixtures they have. Now, look at Arsenal, so you would have 4 greens, I would say, and the green means the fixtures which are kind of easier. So, Arsenal has the easiest sets of fixtures in the next coming week. So, Norwich City, I think that should be straightforward. Crystal Palace away, tricky, but yes, Arsenal would definitely be fancying their chances. Then a derby at Fulham, again, Arsenal should be comfortable. Manchester United home. Well, you don't know what to expect from Manchester United, even though I think even their fans would be extremely happy with what kind of a business they have done. So I think if everything goes well and with Everton away to round it off, I won't be surprised if Arsenal would be actually getting maybe what, almost maximum points, or maybe 12 points out of these 15 possible points. So Arsenal is one team. You can have three players of that. Now, what kind of a players we can target from Arsenal? So my basic idea would be to just give you a brief idea that what kind of players you can target from a particular side as well, based on the selections, based on what kind of people would be there. Uh, if you see the Arsenal players, and if you see what has happened on basically what transfers that have happened. So Ramsdale is there now. Even I have picked him, but I don't know Area, who has just come from Brentford, would he start or not? But I think Ramsdale, safety, you can say he would start. Now, Gabriel, I think he would have a prominent role at five. I think this is one player which you should not miss. I'm also very fascinated with Zinchenko. He was injured last time I think for a lot of time. So he's also a very important player which you can target. And I don't know if Tony and Tomiyasu, they are going to play regularly or not. So you have to just figure it out that which players are going to play. So White for sure, Gabriel for sure, Saliba, and maybe Zinchenko is what the four I think they would be playing, and they would be of having a very prominent role for the season. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, I think they all three were absolutely brilliant. And in fact, Trossard also, he had a very good role last time because of Jesus' injury for most of the time. So he's going to start again because Jesus is still won't be starting the season. So this four, they are just phenomenal, and I'm still not sure that I've still not picked up players from Arsenal. I might change my mind, and I think I might pick up either Martinelli or Saka and Odegaard, because uh, I don't know how to make changes instead of Diego Jota. Obviously, I'll have Salah, but maybe a Liverpool bias because I'm a Liverpool fan. So I want at least two Liverpool players. I could not get Trent at the setup because of obviously the costing involved. Jota, if he starts, I think he's going to give a lot of goals as we have seen in the preseason. But I think there's one change if you want to make right now. You can probably have Martinelli, maybe Odegaard and Saka also you can have in your team. But for me, the challenge is that I don't have money to have Odegaard in my team. Unfortunately, that was, I think that was a player which was, I think, for almost 38 game weeks which I had. So this is what for Arsenal is. Now I'll also just let you know about the other teams also, which teams we can focus on. And uh, Aston Villa again. I'm not so sure about Aston Villa how it's going to be, even though there is a new manager. Newcastle away would be tricky. Newcastle away, maybe now last cup up before, let's say 2 to 3 years, might have been a straightforward one, but not anymore. I think they have a good players which we can look up to. I'll just again come back on this one. Brighton first three good games, but again the last two are tough. I don't know how the thing would be at Brighton, simply because of the topsy turvy nature of the players. McAllister is gone, Saido most likely will be going to Chelsea. So I don't know what kind of motivation and what kind of players they would be having. Chelsea has a first tough game, so does Liverpool. It's like both for both of them. But I think after this, you just, they have a pretty straightforward line of games. I think this is where I think you can actually make a difference, and this is where I think you can have a differential pick from a lot of managers, because Chelsea under Pochettino, they would be a strong force to reckon with, and I strongly believe he's a guy who would actually give you uh, a lot of he would actually make a very interesting watch as a Chelsea team. And the players now, unfortunate for Chelsea, what has happened again, injuries, and I'm talking about a very unfortunate one with Nkunku. I mean, he's gonna be out for almost 3 months or so. So commiserations on that part. But I think overall, if you see, I am very interested in the player. He comes to from a very a very, very strong background, and a lot of people have high hopes from Nicholas Jackson. Also, this guy looks absolutely a brilliant footballer. So I think he is going to be there. Has a very, I would say, a strong player for Chelsea for this season. Then you have Sterling. I don't know what to expect from Sterling, but I think Mudryk would have a very good season. He would be playing a lot of matches. Enzo, not as a, I would say, as a point for you, but obviously as a stable player for them. So this is going to be interesting that how Chelsea would be having their team, because again they have a lot of options at defense. You will have Ben Chilwell, I think, starting most of the games. And the first game, not so sure that what players to pick from Chelsea. I've not picked up any. Although I would like to pick somebody, I would pick Nicholas Jackson now, because maybe my next transfer would be Nicholas Jackson. He is a guy to watch out for, and with the fixtures coming in for the next couple of game weeks, I'm just telling you that he's going to be a really big asset for Chelsea. So that's about Chelsea. And if you want to look at other teams also, that what kind of players I want to pick up. So I think from the promoted side, because I've given you promoted sides idea, the first games are kind of tough for promoted side. Luton Town would be tough, but again, then after that, they're going to be easy games for them. Although no game is easy in Premier League, and Sheffield United, the first two games are kind of easy. You can have their players, the players which we spoke about, and obviously the third promoted side, which is Burnley. Burnley start a very tough game against Manchester City, and then second game week they're not playing. Then we have Aston Villa, Tottenham, and Nottingham Forest for them. That this is kind of a game which they can get some points at least. Although it's not so easy for the sides to start off right now. But the teams which I want you to pick good players, obviously Brentford is one team you can target. I've told you about Arsenal. I've told you about Chelsea. Apart from the first game against Liverpool, Everton has a good game fixtures, and we are also talking about Spurs. Spurs against United is going to be exciting. Spurs have a good sets of players also, and I think they can do pretty well also. So let me just talk to you about the team which I have made. See, my strategy for this season, and probably what I'll just share it with you also, which is going to be probably maybe adding a bit value to you, is the fact that you always need to have some core players in your team. When I talk about the core players would be somebody who would be there in your team irrespective of whatever happens. Because see, this is a season, this is not a one game or a 1 week kind of performance which you should be looking at. Although those things are important if you're playing head to head leagues. But in my view, I have Kane, I have Haaland, I have Salah. These three form a very good crux. Then I have Gabriel and Ramsdale. So there are five very strong players which I have, which I believe are going to give me a good points always. And obviously there is Martinelli also, which is going to be a fascinating player for Arsenal as well. So six stable players. I think Andreas had a very good season last time. I picked him also. Vinicius, I believe he's going to get chances. Although we just have to figure out how the teams play. I mean, what forms Fulham is in. Josh Brownhill, I've already spoken about this guy. He had a very good season last time also. Differential pick, just differential pick, 0.04%. Not many people have picked him, but he is going to give you some assists also. The way Burnley are set up and the way he gets an opportunity on the penalties as well as on free kicks, along with Jay Rodriguez. So this is one. Doughty, I talked about that what potential this guy has, and he will play a kind of a winger also for Hull City, and a winger at 4.5 is going to be a very good pick. And then another player which I've picked up is Connor Roberts again, left back player, a strong player, gets a lot of crosses in. I think he's going to also have a good game. And Tariq Lamptey I picked. I believe that last time it was not that justified to his season because of his injury, but he is again is a force to reckon with. So that's more about my team, and that's I believe that this is going to probably help you out in scoring a lot of good points. So this is the team which I have made, and let's hope that this actually does pretty well. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast come advice for the first season. From the next first season, rather the first game week, from the next game week, we're going to get a little bit more descriptive of what we have done, what I have done, and what are the things which I would be focusing more on, and probably give you a better idea, a better understanding of how you can improve your scores in every given week. So thank you so much, and do subscribe to our channel, and let's hope that you do well in your first game week. Thank you.